Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Nick with the 1994 Candle Co. And I am so excited that you guys are here today. I am really excited to talk about this topic, which is all about how I tripled, or nearly tripled I should say, my business income from last year. This is a video that I have wanted to make for a while, but imposter syndrome has gotten the better of me, if I'm being really honest. Because I feel like when you say like you tripled your, or nearly tripled your business income, I just feel like I don't know, it kind of gives you like this sense of like that I'm like making 6 figures or 7 or 8 figures, or I'm like buying a yacht next week because I'm so successful, and that's just not the case. I wish that were the case, but we're not there yet. Someday maybe, but not today. But this isn't just clickbait or anything like that. I did nearly triple my business profits I tripled them in 2022. It's now 2023. So let me just go over the numbers with you guys so that it makes a little more sense what I'm saying. So in 2021, which was the first year of my business, I've now been in business for 2 full years. But in 2021, we made $4,934.54 in sales. And that was purely from just from website sales. I wasn't doing any in-person events or anything like that. That was in 2021, so COVID was still a little iffy everywhere and stuff like that. And then not only that, but me and my now wife, we were engaged at the time, and so we were planning a wedding. So it was just a lot. It was too much, and you know, we both work full-time jobs as well, and so it was just too much to try and do in-person events or anything like that on top of everything else that we were doing. So that is just purely from online sales, from me marketing my business on social media, from, you know, some people found me on TikTok, Instagram, stuff like that, and then friends, family, etc. have been so incredible at sharing my business and stuff. I'm just blown away by the support for the last 2 years. It's been incredible. But then where I nearly tripled my sales was in 2022, last year. It's now 2023. And so in 2022, we made $13,965.76. So we were only about $800 away from tripling our sales from 2021. So, and that, I'm like blown away by that and so thrilled about that, because like, I just feel like in the first, you know, 2 years of business and stuff, like, I mean, yeah, I know that there are some people who like blew up overnight because of a TikTok or a reel on Instagram or whatever, and they're making thousands more than me or whatever and stuff, and that's great. I'm super happy for them. But I'm just still really like just thrilled with like being able to say that like we've grown that much in such, you know, a short amount of time. We've grown that much in only 1 year. Like, that's incredible to me. So I'm just really thankful to be able to say that, and to be able to, you know, say that we nearly tripled our business profits in 2022, and I'm hoping to do the same in 2023. But the purpose of today's video was not just to share those numbers, but to share exactly kind of how we were able to do that, because it didn't just happen. We put in a lot of hard work this past year to make that happen, and we're putting in a lot of hard work this year again to hopefully double, or maybe even once again triple our business profits. We would absolutely love that if we did. I would be able to leave my full-time job if we did, and that is my goal for this next year. So the 3 main ways that we were able to nearly triple our income this year, 3 things that we really focused on. So number 1 would be our email list. So I had an email list in 2021, but it was like mostly friends and family and like a few other random stragglers. I had promoted it a little bit before I had launched my business and stuff, but then I didn't really like say much about it at all throughout 2021. I didn't really I just didn't promote it that much or whatever. I don't know why, I just didn't. I definitely should have done better at that, but it was just something that I didn't really put a lot of thought into. I thought that, Instagram, Facebook and stuff would get more sales, which was not true. My email list by far probably surpasses all of, the stuff or the traffic that I get from Instagram and Facebook. A lot of those people that are on my email list did initially come from Facebook or Instagram, but now they click on my emails more than they look at my posts and stuff like that on Facebook and Instagram. So I would say number one, if you don't have an email list, you should definitely start one. But number two, I think that you definitely want to focus on that. I would say maybe even more than social media, definitely still focus on social media, because if no one knows that you have an email list, then there's, you only have the people that you have. You don't really have anyone new or anything like that. And so the ways that we kind of grew our email list was one, by having a pop-up link on our website come up. So right when you go to our website, the 1994candleco.com, there should be some kind of pop-up within the first 10-15 seconds that is just kind of telling a little bit about us and then asks if you would like to sign up for email. Another way to grow that email list is just to tell people about it on Facebook and Instagram. So thankfully, Shopify and MailChimp actually have you can integrate them together. And so basically I collect people's emails through MailChimp technically, but I technically still send the emails through Shopify, but they integrate together. And so the MailChimp, when people sign up for my email list, it automatically goes to my Shopify and stuff. But the reason I use MailChimp specifically is because of the ability to add that pop-up to my website. Now, there might be something through Shopify where you can just do that without having to use MailChimp, but at the time when I was signing up for Shopify, the emails marketing through Shopify was still very new, and it just wasn't very good at the time. And so I decided to go, or at least from what I had heard from research and stuff, so I decided to kind of go with MailChimp. But since then, I've started using more Shopify things. So you might have to do a little research. I don't know for sure exactly how that all integrates together. If you can just do Shopify emails and stuff like that without having to integrate MailChimp and stuff like that, I would say that's probably, gonna save you some more time or whatever, but it's really not a big deal. MailChimp is super easy to use and stuff, and so I use it a lot for my main job or whatever during the day, which is marketing and communications, and so I just kind of know how it works better than I do Shopify. So yeah, I would really encourage you, if you don't have an email list, to get that together. Like I said, if you don't have Shopify, you can use MailChimp. It is free. I can't remember what the cutoff is for there's so many emails that you can have or send out per month, and it's still a lot, because I have nearly 200 subscribers and I still don't have to pay anything for MailChimp or anything like that. So I think you can send quite a few emails before you actually have to pay anything. So it will say something at the bottom, made with MailChimp or something like that, but it's really not a huge deal. I don't think people really care that much or pay attention to it, so I don't really mind it, and I've never had anyone say or complain or anything about it. But if you want to pay more for it, you absolutely can, but it is free to start at least. So definitely a way, if you have not yet focused on an email list, I highly recommend you get on that. And another way to have more people sign up to your email list is by if you go to markets and events or things like that, I would highly recommend just having a printout of a sheet. I made one super simply in Canva. I think you can literally type in Canva email list or something like that, and it will have templates come up with something along those lines that you can, you know, kind of, you might have to customize it a little bit. And we can take it to events with us and stuff like that. We just leave it on the table and we kind of point people to it every now and then or whatever if they look interested, but they're not planning on buying that day. Or if they're super interested and they are planning on buying that day, I'll still mention it to them and be like, hey, you know, do you want to sign up for emails? We send out deals and coupons, promotions, all that fun stuff or whatever, to all of our subscriber list and stuff. And 9 times out of 10, they'll sign up. And I really don't have that many. I think I've had literally in the entire 2 years, I think I've had like maybe 2 or 3 people unsubscribe from my email list. So I try to bring a lot of value with it. I don't just send them random crap that they don't care about and stuff like that. I try not to be too spammy or anything like that. But I send them lots of, you know, coupons, deals, stuff like that, as well as just, you know, letting them know about new collections coming up, things like that. Or if I'm about to have a sale in like a week or so, I'll usually let them know, and just things like that. Just super simple stuff like that they appreciate and want to know more about. Real quick before we get to the next point, it would mean so much to me if you guys would leave this video a thumbs up if you are finding some value in it, as well as subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So the next way that we were able to grow our business profits for last year was getting into wholesale. And so we actually didn't do this until the very end of the year, and it wasn't intentional like that. It just, you know, we just didn't really promote wholesale a whole lot, and I still haven't this year a whole lot either. I really need to, because it is something that I want to get into. It's just been something that's been harder to get into and stuff, but we made $1,685.16 from one wholesale order. That was just from one order. And it was for a radio station. They were wanting to do gifts for all of their donors and sponsors. It was a Christian radio station. And so they were wanting to gifts for all of their donors and sponsors. And so we got to make them some custom labels, and I think they got like 150 something candles or something like that, which was insane. It was definitely the most I've ever sold at one time. And so, like I said, we made over $1,600 just from one order, which is crazy. Now, obviously, they do get, you know, a bigger discount just because it is such a large order and stuff like that. Had they not ordered so many, I probably wouldn't have done 50% off, which is normal wholesale. But I think I said, like, I can't remember, I had set certain amounts that, for them, that like if they bought X amount, they would get this percentage off if they bought X amount, you know, and up to 50%. And then I found out that they were going to order over 150 candles. So I was like, well, okay. So basically, if you don't know what wholesale is where you are selling your product to another business and then they are reselling it to their customers. And so it gets you in front of more people and stuff at a quicker rate. And also, wholesale orders generally are very large orders. And so they're ordering, like, for instance, you know, the one that I did, it was like over 150 candles, like I said. So they're usually very large orders and stuff like that. And they'll put them in their shop or their boutique or whatever they have and stuff, and then resell them. The thing is because they are reselling them, you are going to need to sell to them at a discounted rate. So generally across the board, it's just 50% off of what you're making. So if you are planning on getting into wholesale, you absolutely need to make sure that you are priced to be able to still make a profit. Even though they're getting 50% off, and if you're not going to get a profit, then do not do wholesale. You do not want to do wholesale. And if you're only going to make like $1 or $2 per candle, I still would not suggest doing wholesale, because it's just not going to be worth your time. You know, thankfully, like, I knew from the beginning that I wanted to get into wholesale, and so I made sure to price all of my products at a rate that I would be able to get into that and still be able to make a decent profit from all of my products and stuff. But a huge benefit of wholesale, like I was saying, is that you are getting your product in front of more eyes and in front of, or in more hands of people that probably wouldn't be in your customer base who haven't heard of you, and things like that. So even if it's in the same city or town where you live and stuff like that, like, there's definitely, I'm sure not every single person in your town or city has heard of your business, and so it's really just a good way to get your name out there, get more products of yours into people's hands and stuff like that. And so it's a really great way to grow your business, and like I said, they are massive orders, and so it's just really easy to make more money at one time from one order. It's really nice. And then the third and final way, certainly not the least, because we actually made the most from this, the third way that we were able to boost our profit from last year was by doing markets and events. So from markets and events alone last year, we only did 5 or 6 events, I think, something like that. We're definitely planning on doing more this year. We've already done 2, and I think I'm signed up for at least 6 more at this point, but definitely planning on getting more for fall and winter. It's still only April right now, so we still have a while before those open up, at least around here. Only like a couple have opened up for fall and winter. So, but from those 5 or 6 events that we did last year, we made $5,827.11. So as you can see, that alone is almost, actually, yeah, no, it's more than what we made. It's like almost $1,000 more than what we made alone in 2021. So as you can see, markets and events are definitely probably the #1 way to grow your business and get more profit. A few of those markets and events we didn't do very well, and then other ones we did. Like, the biggest one was our holiday market, and we made like a little over $2,000 from that one event alone. And that one was like by far our best one, and I was thrilled. I was like, man, I wish I could do this every day. Because, you know, when you're making that many sales in like such a short amount of time, it's just like, it's such a nice little rush of like, wow, this is great. And if you do markets and events right, you can turn those customers who bought from you that day into repeat customers. In fact, a lot of our sales and stuff like that have come from people who have found us during markets and events and stuff like that, and they're now purchasing online. So if you do these events right, you can absolutely turn those into repeat customers. The #1 way that we do that is by, in every single order, or when anyone buys anything from us, we always include a business card in the bag, as well as it has a candle care, and then on the back there's a thank you with a 15% off your next order on the website. So there's a code on here for 15% off that they can use on our website and stuff like that. And to be honest, most people have not used the code. I don't know if they just forget about it or what, but they do come back anyway, and they'll still purchase from us, from, you know, like, they have our business card that has our website and stuff on it. But markets and events are definitely, like I said, probably the #1 way to grow your business and stuff. They are just such a great resource. They are absolutely a lot of work, but I think the reward is definitely worth it. And it's nice to be able to be in front of people and actually see their reactions to your candles and your wax melts or whatever else you sell. It's just really nice to be able to see that, because when you're selling online, you don't get that. Like, you don't get to always know what they thought of it. I mean, if they leave a review, great, but not everyone's gonna leave a review. And so you just don't always get to know what people are thinking, their reactions to the scents and stuff like that. And not only that, but a lot more people will buy because they can actually smell the candles and stuff in person. You know, obviously we can't smell through our computer screens, and so sometimes it's difficult to make sales online and stuff like that. And so markets and events are definitely a huge way that we grew our business last year, and are definitely going to help us grow our business this year as well. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. It has been super fun diving into all these business things with you. If you guys want to keep hanging out, you can check out one of these other videos that are about to pop up on the screen, and I'll see you there.